Hello, everybody. Gonna be finishing up 3-2 today. Super excited about that. Let's just get into it, shall we? You know, I'm glad we found the urn and all, but poor Mr. Delight got arrested again. Well, supposedly Mr. Delight was in the CEO's office when the murder occurred.
No way, Jose! I don't buy it! But the one who proved that Mr. Delight was there was Mr. Nick himself. At least from what I can understand.
Looks like you did too good of a job this time, Nick. Well, how about we get started looking into the KB security murder?
I think I'm going to head back to Curing Village for a little while, if that's alright. Sure, but why? I'm going to bring the sacred urn back and have some people take a look at it. Oh, that's a good idea. I think I'll go with... No, Mystic Maya, you should stay here. With your Nick. I want you two to spend some special quality time together. Full of love and happiness.
Pearls is so caught up in her fantasy, she forgot there's a murder to solve. Alright, here's your urn.
Now remember, no fighting, okay?
Alright. She's gone.
Okay, Nick, time to get going on this murder investigation.
Let's talk first. Alright, so what do we need to do now?
Isn't it obvious? We should get out there and investigate the murder!
Well, first we need to find out exactly where KB Security is located.
Hey! Why don't we ask Miss Delight? She should know. Besides, I want to ask her some stuff about motorcycles.
Motorcycles? You're not thinking of getting one, are you?
I'm not the same little Maya who used to be happy with her dinky little bike, Nicky boy.
Speaking of asking around, I've got a few questions of my own for Mr. Delight.
Okay, well, let's make sure to go to the detention center, too.
You must be relieved we got the sacred urn back, huh?
You bet. But there's something a little different about it. Don't at me. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, take a look at this. It clearly says I am on the urn in the poster. But the urn we got back says Ami, like it always used to.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Plus the face has pink splotches on it now. I'm sure they weren't there before.
It doesn't know, but 1 year ago, when the urn was broken, the repairer accidentally turned Mystic Ami's name into I am. And that repairer was one mechanically unskilled little Pearls. But still, I don't remember ever seeing pink splotches on it.
Is it possible that urn is a fake?
I'm sure Pearls will find out about that once she gets back to Wright Village.
Yeah, I suppose.
Now that I think about it, Maya hasn't been back to Wright Village in a long time. So I guess people still go to Wright Village to do their training, right?
Yep, if you want to become a spirit medium, you need to undergo severe training.
So why haven't you been training lately, Maya?
Well, lately I've been thinking of heading to a channeling dojo to do just that.
A channeling dojo? Huh. Sounds pretty serious, whatever that is.
If you're going to train, you have to be serious. Otherwise, real tragedies can happen.
Is that what happened what happened last year still bothering you? That murder in her village. It happened because the power of channeling was misused. When a medium uses the Curain technique, she temporarily loses her own will.
So when an especially strong spirit is summoned, the spirit medium can get taken over and even forced to commit terrible crimes.
What's worse, in those cases, the spirit medium has no memory of what happened. That murder. It wasn't your fault, Maya. You know that, don't you?
I suppose not, but I guess I'm still a bit shaken up, that's all.
Sounds like being the master of Curain is going to be a heavy responsibility.
Before we go to see, Miss Desiree...
Charlie, quite decorative plant. When she was alive, Mia really loved it. She went so far as to make it her mascot. I always...
Yes. Water the little fella.
Let's go to Damas' side out, shall we?
Oh, Nicky boy, Maya.
Miss Delight?
All I wanted to do was help my dear Ronnie.
Yeah, but I guess it ended up hurting his case.
Don't say that, Nick. She doesn't need your help beating herself up. Hey, Nicky boy, please. Please help Ronnie. He's not a killer, I swear. My Ronnie would never wouldn't hurt a fly.
Alright, I'll poke around and see what I can find out.
Really? Are you serious? Oh, I'm so happy. I knew asking for your help was the right thing to do. I don't know what I can do to help anymore.
I had no idea Miss Delight had such a vulnerable side.
Well, I mean, this is where her husband we're talking about. Listen carefully, Nicky boy. My Ronnie would never ever kill anyone. It's just not in him. I don't think he would either, Nick.
Yeah, but you have to admit he's got a bit of a temper too. It's not that hard to imagine him just snapping and screaming, "Please die!"
He would never say that! Anyway, Miss Delight, he might not be a killer, but he's still going around saying that he's a thief. I already told you, that's just a fantasy for him.
You're the one living in a fantasy world.
What? How dare you say that to me, Nicky boy? I know everything about my Ronnie. We don't have any secrets between us. Ronnie isn't the thieving type. He's so honest that he wouldn't even sneak a nap. He's so honest that he wouldn't even steal a glance. A thief. Ha! The very idea.
I guess I just don't get it.
Huh? Get what?
I just can't understand how they can be so different and yet be such a happy couple.
Yeah, they sure are different. Come on now, Nicky boy. Not that mysterious. It's not that mysterious, is it? It was love at first sight. For me, anyway. What? For you? Love at first sight? So was it really love at first sight when you met Mr. Delight? Well, maybe not at first sight, but Ronnie saved my life. Saved your life? I was at work one day when 2 robbers suddenly rushed in. Well, I'm not the kind to just curl into a little ball in a corner, so I fought back. Robbers? Yes, they took me hostage. I was so frightened. They were both carrying these huge knives, and I broke down into tears.
Yeah, I would too if I was in that situation.
Oh, I think I get it. Did Mr. Delight come running to save you? Yes, exactly! I remember he looked so handsome in that guard uniform of his. He went right up to those 2 knife-wielding robbers and screamed in their faces. "Please stop it!" he screamed.
I could see the robbers' faces turn pale. That high-pitched shriek of his does have a surprisingly strong effect on people.
Then, crying and swinging his arms like crazy, he attacked the 2 robbers.
The image of that is amazing.
All by himself, he came to save me, a total stranger. All by himself. He was so scared that he was crying and shaking, but he still risked his life for me. Wow, that's a great story. Yes, he may not look it, but in a tough situation, there's no one better. That's why I fell in love with him like I did.
That's so romantic. I'd fall in love too, I guess.
Nick, I hope you'll do the same for me if I ever get taken hostage.
With Maya, that possibility always seems to loom in the not-so-distant future. I mean, she was literally taken hostage in the last game, so like...
I hate these kinds of people more than anything. You mean ace detectives? No, I'm fine with ace detectives. Oh, so then you must mean thieves. No, they're alright too. I just hate thieves that pretend to be ace detectives. There's nothing I hate more than cowardly men. Okay. By the way, why did you go to Detective Atmy's office anyway? Well, as the trial went on, I started to get more and more anxious. I went there to try to find out more about the real criminal. The real criminal? Yes, obviously the real Master Mask is not my Ronnie, right?
Yeah?
And Detective Atmy knew more about Master Mask than anyone else. They mentioned him on the Great People Around Town segment on TV.
So then, you went there to ask him some questions.
That's right. I'll do whatever it takes to save my man. His secretary said the ace detective isn't in right now, but I forced my way past her and into his hideout.
I wouldn't exactly call that office of his a hideout.
That bag was sitting right there on top of the table. Oh yeah, we saw that back there yesterday too.
I still love that he does the knives to hang up stuff thing that Sherlock does.
There's nothing lower than someone who would try to pin a crime on someone else. Oh, hi. Miss Delight, do you know about KB Security? Don't be silly, of course I do. That's where my Ronnie works.
So she thinks he still works there, huh?
Very supportive wife, yes.
Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Delight was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard. Ron quit. He doesn't work there anymore.
It looks like Miss Delight doesn't know.
One second, let me do something real quick. Where is it? Here we go. Do you want to join me? Here we go.
There we go.
Okay. Boom. KB Security is only about 20 minutes away. By motorcycle, that is. Larry told me it takes 30 minutes by car.
Well, I have to admit I tend to fly pretty fast on my bike.
To make it to KB Security that fast, are you sure you aren't literally flying?
Why don't I give you a ride sometime? Or better yet, how about now?
No. I'll pass, thanks. Why don't you just, tell us where it is and we'll go ourselves?
What a scaredy cat you are, Nick.
Miss Delight told us the location of KB Security.
Okay, let's head over there right away, Nick.
Boom. So, I guess this is where it all went down, huh?
The walls in here look thick. Just like you'd expect in a CEO's office.
Okay. What has that got to do with anything? Hey, it's you guys. Oh, it's Detective Gumshoe. Today was a real train wreck for you guys, huh?
Sure was, pal. That prosecutor made real fools out of us.
Yeah, I feel for you. One sec, just doing some stuff. Okay.
There we go. Wow, that's not like you at all. I thought you'd be more like,
oh, that was great! You guys got what you deserve, pal! Ho 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 ho!
or something to that effect.
Do I really sound like that to you, pal?
If the gumshoe fits.
Well, anyway. The point is, I can tell when someone puts their heart into their jobs. And I can sympathize when things don't go your way. Sometimes I feel like wrong is the only way for things go for us detectives.
Aw. Wow, I had no idea Detective Gumshoe was such a nice guy.
Now, if this little love fest is over, maybe we can start investigating.
This is tough. Yeah, Gumshoe! Detective Gumshoe, tell us what you know about the murder.
Okay. But the thing is, I'm not really supposed to...
Hey, come on! What about how we put our hearts into our work? Things are really working against us right now, and we need help.
Aw. Aya, you're the best. Okay, I'll tell you. Just don't start crying on me, okay, pal?
Okay, I won't cry on you, pal.
The victim's name is Kane Bullitt. He was the CEO of KP Security and a pretty big fella in his own right. His corpse was discovered at 9 this morning. His estimated time of death was 1 in the morning on October 12th. Because the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, probably an object in his room. It happened at exactly the same time that Master Mask was stealing the urn, huh? Cerebral hemorrhaging from blunt trauma to the head.
So why did it take almost an entire day to discover the body?
There's a good explanation for that one. Bullock's body was stashed away inside that safe. Safe? Well, it is pretty big. Nobody had heard from him, and when they opened the safe this morning, out he came.
Oh,
so the body fell out. That white string must be the shape from when he fell out.
I think we still need some more information about Mr. Billiard.
Maybe you can start by getting the man's name right.
Okay, so what about the victim? Detective Gumshoe, tell us more about Mr. Shane Bluebard.
That's Kane Bullard, not Shane Bluebard, pal.
Oh yeah, the victim in this case just doesn't make much of an impression on me.
Well, you were the victim up until Mr. Bullard was found dead. Yeah, and his body wasn't discovered until this morning. Anyway, we don't have enough information yet. Can you help us out? Sorry, I'm actually a little confused myself. For some reason, I'm just blabbing like an idiot right now.
Okay, Nick. Now is our chance to get more info about the victim, so hurry up and ask.
Can you tell us some more about Mr. Bullard?
He was the CEO of KB Security, right? What kind of company is it anyway?
Well, the company basically sent security teams out to buildings to guard them. Mr. Bullard must have had the chance to learn a lot of secrets doing this kind of work. Oh, and? And, I don't know how to put this, but the guy was kind of a money grubber.
Really? Me too. I just love money. I can't ever get enough.
Oh, shut up, Maya. Please stop leaning in towards me like that. You aren't getting to my wallet. Okay, Lamau. Anyway, it looks like he did some pretty shifty stuff to earn his millions.
Oh, so that's my problem. I need to be shiftier.
Let me go already. Apparently, he was involved in selling trade secrets between rival companies.
Oh, that's pretty dirty and underhanded.
Yeah. Oh, KB Security used to head security operations against Mask to Mask.
What? Really?
Yeah, and after screwing up so many times, the company's reputation really took a nosedive. So it really was Bullard who sent Ron the blackmail letter, huh?
So, what happened to Mask to Mask?
He's at the detention center screaming like a madman. Investigate me again! He keeps yelling. No, I didn't mean him. He's not the real thief anyway, right? Oh, you meant that detective at me? Oh, that was great. That guy got what he deserved.
Now that's the detective I know and love.
Think about it. Anthony was always around when a calling card showed up, but he always mysteriously disappeared when the heist took place. I was hiding at this crime scene. Yeah, right. That's the lamest thing I've ever heard. That's how you just knew he was the thief. That would explain how he was able to retrieve the stolen item he keeps bragging about. Yeah, he did that just to make himself look like a great detective, that's all. But there's this one thing I can't figure out about his first heist. His first heist? Yeah, Tier of Eminon case. There was a witness on that one.
A witness?
Here, I saved the newspaper clipping. Since the thief is already under arrest, you guys can keep it.
Oh, that's definitely Ron.
Hey, this guard here. Haven't I seen him somewhere before? It's pretty small, so it's kind of hard to see, but now that she mentions it...
Yeah, that's Ron. Oh, that prosecutor! I really don't like that guy. The way he used our own evidence to do that to Mr. Delight.
Yeah, I think he did it that way just because he knew it hurt more. That's what my gut tells me anyway. So who is that Java-addicted masked maniac anyway? Prosecutor Godot? He's quite the enigma, huh? The thing is, pal, I never even heard of the guy before. He's just a...
Nice.
He just showed up one day at the prosecutor's office. Came out of nowhere. That's right, he said this was his first case as a prosecutor. And it's true, according to the records anyway. But, no way he's an amateur. He's an Iceman in court, a maverick that gives me goosebumps.
Goosebumps? You?
Yeah, I knew something was off about him, so I asked around. Nobody would talk to me. They all just turned the other way.
Poor Detective Gumshoe. I had no idea you were so unpopular.
No, that's not what I meant. That Godot guy acts like he knows me and has a grudge against me. I get the feeling he's hiding some kind of dark secret.
Alright.
examine some stuff. Ooh, huge file. Check out this big, thick binder here.
Leave the heavy lifting to me, Nick.
Reading a file isn't exactly back-breaking work, just a little hard on the eyes.
Ah! What did you find out, Nick?
This file, it's not about any sort of security operations or anything. This huge file is all about Mask to Mask. It's filled with info on him.
What? What kind of info?
It's filled with incredibly detailed information about his methods and the crime scenes.
Hey, Nick, look at the last page.
It's a list. Let's see. Tier of Emanon, $100,000. This looks like a list of all the treasures that Mask to Mask stole.
So then $100,000 is the value of the stolen item.
I don't know, that number seems kind of low to me. I think I'd better secretly make a copy of this list. Let me check that real quick. Alright. I see the ransom money keeps being bumped up every time.
What's with this big button on the wall? Interesting. Oh, there's a button here. Let's see.
Oh, hey, cut it out! Don't press that!
That was pretty funny. I never knew Detective Gumshoe could jump like that.
What is that button anyway? And why is it so loud? It's an emergency buzzer. It says it right there on the panel.
Oops, you're right. It's written right there. Nick, how many times have I told you to read the instructions first?
You're the one who pressed it, Maya. This basement's connected to this alarm's connected to the basement guard room. It's used to summon security up here. Really? Then it's possible on the night of the crime.
Oh, so when the CEO was attacked, do you think that maybe he pressed the buzzer?
Yeah, I thought about that, so I asked around down there. But they said that the buzzer never went off that night. Also, we couldn't find any fingerprints on the buzzer. Mr. Bullard, the victim, wasn't wearing any gloves, by the way, just so you know. I think we better go and talk to that guard about this emergency buzzer. No fingerprints?
You know what, for funsies, let's examine the body. Think about it. A dead guy was laying in here all night.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, don't bother asking about fingerprints. There were none. Well, somebody opened this safe on the night of the crime, right?
Yeah, and so?
Well, if Mr. Bullard's body was hidden in here, it must mean that it was opened by either the killer or the victim, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Ho ho ho! I got some bad news for you, pal. You ready? Okay, shoot. Opening this baby is no piece of cake. There are only a few people who know how to open this safe, pal. Yeah, and everyone that knows how to open this safe had airtight alibis. I checked. Everyone except one, that is. I'm almost afraid to ask. Former security chief, Ron DeLight.
What? Ron DeLight? He was a security chief?
Ron? So he knew how to open the safe, huh? I'm thinking he found the body, was scared, and then shoved it in there without knowing what was going on. Yeah, sorry for raining on the parade there, pal.
Of course. Let's go to the security room. Let's see who's there. Oh, I recognize that orange coat. Great. Oh, and that's a lovely cherry pattern on the... Wow, this is really something else. For a security guard office, it sure doesn't feel very secure.
KB security guard. Uh-oh, I just remembered. Larry might be...
Hey, Nick! What's up?
Hi, Larry. So he is here.
Yo, how's it hanging, dude?
And you got my sweet little Maya with you, too.
Hi, Larry.
Here I was, working my fingers to the bone, and in walks an angel. I got no problems with a daytime date. It's all good. No, that's not what we're here for. But we're investigating the Bullard murder case?
Huh?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're a lawyer, aren't you? I literally got you off for my first trial. He's so hopelessly clueless. It's almost ridiculous. Well, if it's about the murder case, boy, have I got some good info for you.
Really? What is it?
Well, I don't mind sharing with my sweet little Maya, but Nick here, it's a different story.
But Larry, I thought you two were old school buddies.
That was then and this is now. Shut up. Okay. Alright, so what's this good info you were talking about, Larry? Hey, I'm a guard, a pro. I can't just give away information for free. Uh-huh. He wants a bribe? I thought professionals were more, I don't know, honest? Can you talk to him, Maya?
Larry, tell us already. What's the good info? Hey, I like that. This kitten's got some claws.
Stop it. Okay, you really want to know?
Yes, so tell me.
Okay, so the thing is, Rhonda Light was an employee here. And naturally, since I'm a pro, I looked into his background. Follow me?
Yes, you're a pro. I follow you. Go on.
Well, 1 year ago, Rhonda Light was fired. And there was no warning at all. It just happened all of a sudden. I know this is a small company, but I think that was pretty awful.
I guess he must have done something bad to have gotten fired like that.
Like maybe skipping out of work to go pick up hot chicks or something. No, that's just you. So, what is it like to be a part-time security guard? Let me tell you, it's tough. Well, you know me, I get by alright, I guess. First, I have to keep my eye on those monitors. All the time.
Monitors?
There's security cameras set in each room around the building. It's really hard. Sometimes I feel like my eyes are gonna fall out. Oh. And if I see something suspicious, I have to contact one of the teams.
What teams?
The security teams for this company. They're supposedly the best in the business. But I'm no amateur either, so if it's something small, I don't bother calling them. So in other words, you basically watch TV screens all day long. Let's see here. Hey, Larry, that's your jacket, isn't it? That's right.
Did you know you hung it right on top of some kind of lever?
Yeah, sure. I was told to never ever touch that lever. She scowled and huffed at me. Something terrible will happen if you do. Got it, Greenhorn?
So why hang your jacket on such an important lever?
Because it got me curious. If the jacket's weight pulls the lever down, that's what they call an accident. Doesn't the suspense just kill you? Don't you want to know what'll happen, huh?
It's true. It's killing me too. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, but for a different reason. What about these? Something's written on this poster in fine print.
The guard's 5 commandments.
Wow, this sounds serious. Let's see what it says. Number 1, obey thy superior. Number 2, respect thy superior. Not superior. Number 3, smile at thy superior. Number 4, salute thy superior. Number 5, buy donuts for thy superior upon command. It's signed Wendy Oldbag, head supervisor. Oh, great. She's one tough old bird, let me tell ya. Cross her and you come face to face with a real genuine ray gun. Yeah, sounds scary, alright. Well, fortunately she's on vacation. That's why I'm so relaxed right now. That's so funny. Yes. Alright. So, what happened the night of the crime? You were in this office when the murder took place, weren't you? Why do you say that? This is just a part-time job for me, and I can't operate the equipment. And I'm dumb! Even if it is part-time and you aren't dumb, you're still in charge of security here. Hey, give me a break! Don't try to pin the whole thing on me! That's not fair, Nick! Huh?
I don't think you can expect someone like him to take any responsibility.
Anyway, the point is, you were here that night, right? Great! How many? Only 2? Good. Oh no, I knew something smelled bad, and it was the butts after all. Well, it's like I always say. That was then, and this is now, okay? Looks like I'm gonna have to break the psyche locks after all. Take that! Alright. On the night of the crime, you were working hard like you were supposed to. What? Huh? Of course I was. Why wouldn't I have been? But didn't you sneak out of work just yesterday to go see Mrs. Delight? But that was that, and this. Is there any chance that you snuck out of work last night, too? Never! I didn't sneak out. I tell you what, I'll even bet you $1. $1? Wow, that Now that's confidence! What's with that drenched-in-the-rain puppy look on your face? That's good. Do you have evidence that I left my position, or are you just pulling my chain? The evidence that Larry was not manning his station when the murder happened is... Ron's wallet!
Take that!
Because you gave it to me. This wallet. You know about this, right? I'd never seen it before. Liar. You hand-delivered this wallet to Mr. Light just yesterday. Give me a break. You can't expect me to remember every little thing that happens. Well, I do expect you to remember something that happened just yesterday. What time was it when you found this wallet? I guess it was around 1 in the morning? On the first floor of our company building. 1 o'clock in the morning. That's right. In other words, Larry, at the time of the murder, you were away from the security guard office. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but there's something you didn't think about. What's that? My shift that day didn't start till 10 p.m. The murderer might have snuck in before that. What do you mean by that? If the murderer had snuck in before 10 p.m., then it wasn't my fault. It was the fault of the guy whose shift was before mine. Why do I have the feeling that he still doesn't get the seriousness of this? Listen up, Larry. We know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the killer snuck into the office after 10 p.m. during your shift. Because of this damn key card.
Take that!
Larry, when you use this key card, does it leave a record? Yeah, it does. But I can't show the record to just anyone, you know. That keycard data was already made public in the trial today. What? I didn't know that. Any kind of request for info like that is supposed to go through me. Boy, does that sound a bit arrogant coming from a part-time guard. Anyway, according to the data, the door to the CEO's office was opened with this card. Furthermore, it was most definitely used at 1 a.m., the time of the murder. No way! Yes, someone used this to get into the CEO's office. That happened at 1 a.m. on the night of the crime, right in the middle of your shift. Oh. Larry, you can't duck your responsibility this time. Yeah, no! Alright. What the hell happened? Oh, I knew it. It's all my fault. It's my fault that the boss was killed. My fault. Larry, there was nothing I could do. I have important issues to deal with too, man. What happened that night anyway? My Donna happened. Huh? Your Donna? I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, my Donna called and said I have to talk to you right away. So I went to see her, and he was standing right there next to her. Who was? Her new boyfriend! It was like some horrible joke. Before I knew what was going on, the guy socked me right in the kisser. Normally I'm the one that does the punching. Isn't that right, Maya? Yeah. So is that why you left the security guard office? I'm sorry. It's all my fault. How can I ever make up for it, Nick? What can I do? What? He's curled up on the floor, crying like a baby. Oh boy. Nick! Is there anything I can do? Anything! Just name it! I'll do whatever I have to make up for it. I swear I will! Larry. Hey, Nick, as long as he's offering, why don't you show him the evidence we've got? She's right. Maybe we'll get at least one bit of useful information from him. Nick! Let me look up something first. I gotta... There's a certain line that I want to... Alright. I have no clue how to get this line, though. Fairly certain I need to examine something. Can't examine the snacks, though. Wow, take a look at these things here! Hey, Larry, what are they? Oh boy. This guy get a job here anyway. sound so smug if I were you. How do you know that, Larry? Alright. Clue's here. Oh, don't worry about it. Uh-huh. Very fishy-looking chair, huh? Even Maya and Pearls could run this place better.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Seems like I've examined everything in here. It's probably during something else. I'll look it up later. Anyway, button. The buzzer in the CEO's office is directly connected to this room, right? That's right. Just like my heart is connected to yours, Maya. Shut up. She's 19 and you were hitting on her 2 years ago. Shut up. Huh? Go ahead, Maya. Press the buzzer in your heart. I promise I'll come running to your rescue like the professional guard I am. Oh, shut up, Larry. Wow, that was pretty good. Thanks. I try. Do you think you could tell us about the buzzer now?
Yes, please. Please tell us.
Okay, I guess so. Prepare to be wowed. I accidentally pressed the buzzer earlier. Yeah, I heard it. So that was you, huh? You're a security guard, aren't you? Why didn't you come to the CEO's office? Well, this is the 3rd floor of the basement. The CEO's office is on the 1st floor. That would be a good idea to, adopt a wait-and-see approach. Plus, there's the police detective here, right? I just didn't think it was necessary. It's as if he's trying to win an award for the laziest person on the planet.
Let's get back to talking about the night of the murder, okay?
Is it true that the buzzer didn't go off that night? There must be a record, right? You have had a look at it, right? Of course I did, and I couldn't possibly have made a mistake either.
Do you think you could take just one more look for me, pretty please?
Oh, okay. I just can't say no to you, Maya. What do you think, Nick? He's probably right. I don't think even Larry could make a mistake like that. Ah! What is it? What's wrong? Great. I made a mistake. Huh? But how? It can't be. It's impossible. Okay, enough already. What about the records? That night, it went off just once in the morning at around 1 a.m. Great.
1 a.m.?
That's when the murder happened. Really? Are you serious? That's terrible. It can't be. Okay, great. Good to know. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go talk to Adrian. The treasures of a Korean exhibit is all ruined now. Maya, I'm sorry, it's just so sad. This was our big chance for everyone to learn about spirit channeling. Maybe I can cheer her up somehow. Well, now that we've got the sacred urn back, maybe they can reopen it? Really? Sure, maybe we can label it the Urn of Master Mask's Desires. That would probably attract a lot of attention.
Whoa, that's brilliant, Nick! We can clean up and be filthy rich! Woohoo!
Wow, that was surprisingly easy. Alright. Yo, Adrian, what's up? Oh, it's you, Mr. Wright. Miss Andrews. What's she still hanging around here for? So, how is it going? What about the sacred urn? The urn? Oh, that. It's been taken care of already. What do you mean, oh, that? Taken care of? Do you mean it's been found?
Yes, it was brought in during the trial today. Wow, really? You really are the greatest, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright had nothing to do with it. It was Master Mask's wife that found it. Well, anyway, I'm so relieved. What are you relieved about? I just heard all about it on the news. So that detective was actually the thief all along.
Looks that way right now.
It's my fault. I'm the one who ended up hiring Damas to guard the treasures.
Don't blame yourself. You were just doing your job.
Hey, Nick, if she wants to apologize, you should let her. So, when was it that you hired Detective Atme again?
Around 20 days ago? And when was it that Master Mask's calling card arrived?
That was about 10 days ago.
So he sent a calling card to the very place he was hired to guard.
I guess that's it then. Detective Atme must have really wanted the Sacred Urn after all.
I guess so. Or he must have really wanted an alibi.
What? So Master Mask murdered someone as well?
Well, that's how things look right now.
Yes, but I thought that he was here stealing the urn at the time.
Oh, we're talking about a criminal mastermind, so anything is possible.
Nick, let's get down to business already. We need to defeat the Huns.
On the night of the theft, did you notice anything suspicious about Detective Atme? I'm sorry, I had to.
No, I couldn't have. After all, he was hidden the entire time. I never even caught a glimpse of him.
He claims that's the way he always operates.
That's just what he says so he can have an alibi while he commits the thefts himself.
Yeah, he was caught in the crime scene photo dressed up as Master Mask pretty well.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. I'm so glad that you got your Sacred Urn back.
Yes, but there's still something that bothers me about it.
What is it?
I'm not exactly sure, but somehow the urn that came back seems different.
Really? You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Miss Andrews?
No, I don't know anything. Why would I? I mean, you were the one that put it back together, right? Oh, great.
Psyche locks. What do you think this means, Nick?
It means the person that holds the secret to the mystery of the Sacred Urn is our very own Miss Andrews. I don't think we've got enough to contest them right now, so
let's go to the detention center.
We need to talk to our client anyway.
Ah! Mr. Wright! Mr. Delight! Did they finish their interrogation?
Yes, but please don't leave me alone anymore! Mr. Delight, you lied to us before, didn't you?
Well,
you see, on the same night the Sacred Urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor department store, a blackmail letter you got summoned you to KV Security to hand over some money. And then that's where the CEO, Kane Bullard, was murdered. But there's only one Ron Delight, am I right? So the only question is, where were you that night? This time I want to hear the whole truth. Your life depends on it. Okay. Mr. Delight, do you still insist that you are Master Mask? Isn't that what I've been saying since yesterday?
That was a quick response.
Tell me about it. To be honest, it's starting to get irritating.
But listen, Mr. Delight! At the trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief, didn't we?
Pizza.
Take a good look, everyone! Unable to find a rival of worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown!
I guess it's true. I wasn't the one who stole that urn.
Of course not. After all, you were at KV Security at the time.
So then the person dressed up as Master Mask in the photo, it's gotta be Detective Atme. So that night you didn't go to Lordly Taylor, you went to KV Security, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I went to KV Security at the time the blackmail notice said I should.
Alright. What happened next?
Well, I used to work there, so I knew where the CEO's office was. I knocked, but there was no answer. So then I used the key card to unlock the door. That's probably when he dropped his wallet. When I went into the CEO's office, someone was in there. Someone? I wonder who it could be. Then suddenly they bashed me over the head. Bam! You know, that photo could have been doctored. Just saying. Was it Kane Bullard that hit you? I don't know. The person ran away while I was still stunned. When I came to my senses, the sight I saw left me speechless. Can I take a look at that photo again? That's a publicity photo. Here we go. Yeah, it doesn't say the date. Huh. The dead body of the CEO was right there in front of me. I thought I'd die myself. Anyway, I thought I should do something with the body. So that's why you put it in the safe. Yes, that's right. I used to be the chief of one of the security teams, so I knew how to open it. Okay. And what did you do after that? Well, I got out of there for starters. I was the one who set up the security cameras in that building. So I knew how to avoid being spotted by them. Nick. All of a sudden, Mr. Delight kind of sounds like the murderer to me. Please don't say that. This theme is so good! Okay, so what about this newspaper clipping where you are obviously there? Hey! This is an article about my debut heist! Boy, that was a tough one. Before I knew it, they were hot on my trail. But mask to mask. He must have gotten away, right? It says in the article that he disappeared. That's right. I caused a sudden burst of inspiration. I hid my mask to mask costume in a nearby plastic bucket that I quickly changed into my security guard uniform. Pretty clever. Eh? Hey, awesome. What? Hey, hold the phone. I got in this photo. Is this you, Mr. Delight? That's right. Nice trick if I do say so myself. Nice and easy to figure out. Even pros would see through that in a heartbeat. But as you might expect, Detective Atme found the disguise. He truly deserves the title of Ace Detective. Ace Detective Atme found the mask-to-mask disguise. That's interesting. Yes, and I heard that he brought it home with him. So that's it. That's when Atme got his hands on this. Thanks to that, I got the chance to remake my costume. That must have been really time-consuming, huh? Yes, it took quite a while to complete. Anyway, a few days after that, I received the first of the blackmail letters. Blackmail letters? You got them starting when? Tell me more, now! Hey, calm down. Don't get so worked up. Okay, wait. This blackmail letter. Is this the first one you got? No, of course not. But this is the first one that ever called me out to a specific location. So, did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Exterior of Emanon heist. That first letter, it said, I know you did it. So someone found out about your true identity? Just like that? It's not easy being a master thief, you know. Well, this is a funky theme. I've got proof that it was you, so give up, it went on to say. So in the end, I had to give up the treasure I went through all that trouble to steal. Is that right? Hey, hang on a second. What do you mean you had to give it up? Oh, don't worry. After I put the jewel in the safe deposit letter, the box the letter specified, someone sent me $10,000. No one said anything about me being worried, you know? After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. Plans? Ah. Heist plans. What are these plans you're talking about? They were instructions on how to steal a crown or painting or some other rare treasure. One sec. They showed security blind spots, escape routes, and even suggested training methods. So, you mean that the one who planned the heists wasn't you? No, it wasn't. I only planned the very first one. After that, I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. It sounds like Mr. Delight is thankful to the person that was blackmailing him. So Rondelite was Master Mask after all. But someone else is behind the thefts. Someone who planned them all out in detail. I wonder who that could be! All I had to do was deposit the treasures I stole into the safe deposit box. Cash to come in the mail. Could you try not to look so gleeful about it? So you went after the sacred urn because of one of those plans too? Well, see, truth is I've never seen the urn. You've never seen the urn, huh? All I did was follow the instructions and steal what I was told to steal. Interesting. Mr. Delight, is everything you just told me the truth? It better be, or so help me. Yes, but please don't tell Desi, okay? Okay. Why were you fired? Mr. Delight, is it true that 1 year ago you were forced to quit KV security? How did you... I'm begging you! Please don't tell Desi! Please! Don't worry, we haven't told anyone yet. Whew, thank goodness. No, but I suppose I'll have to tell her sometime. She'll find out eventually. Why have you been hiding it from her anyway? Desi would despise me if she ever found out I was living a life of crime. A criminal, a thief. She'd never forgive me. My marriage will be over. Knowing that, why did you become a thief in the first place? Because Desi spends money like it's water. There's no job in the world that could bring in enough money. Except being a thief. At least that's what I thought anyway. So we became Master Mask for Desiree, huh? Ron, before we go, there's one more thing I want to ask you. Yes? But please don't hurt me. Mr. Kane Bullard, do you swear that it wasn't you who killed him? Yes, of course! I could never! I'm not lying! All I did was hide his body in the safe. But then I was afraid they'd discover what I did, so I turned myself in yesterday. Why? Well, if the judge had ruled that I was guilty of robbery, then I'd have an alibi, right? I guess so. You're really clever, Mr. Delight. I guess I had no choice but to take Mr. Delight at his word. Mystic Maya! Hey! Pearly! Only one person calls her Mystic Maya. I'm back! Hey, Pearls, so what have you been up to this whole time? The sacred urn, Mr. Nick. I took it back to Carrion Village to have it examined. And what did you find out? Well, there's no need to worry. They said it's the real urn. Whew. That's a relief. I was really worried. But there's one small problem. Problem? These cute little pink splotches. They said that it's paint, and that they were put on the urn recently. Why are we talking about the pink splotches again? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? We gotta find out how they got there. That's the big deal. Yes, Mr. Nick, we gotta find out how they got there. Okay, we'll find out how they got there. But please don't forget about me. Don't worry, I won't. Alright. I believe we have enough to, yeah, there we go. Oh, Pearl, how nice to see you. Hello there. I haven't seen you around lately. What have you been up to? Well, actually, I was having this urn examined. Oh, I see. Another good look at this urn. We can figure out the mystery of what actually happened here. Nick, let's look around one more time. Let's see here. The pink splotch again, maybe? It looks to me like it's been dry for several days. There's something suspicious about this paint mark. The bottom lip part of it is shaped oddly and it's shocking pink. This is the same color as the paint splotches on the urn. Thank you for pointing that out. So then, the question is, what's the cause of the odd shape? Let's look around here carefully, Mr. Nick. Maybe it's this fucking box? This box. There's something about it that's bothering me. Aside from the fact that it sucks. That's the box that the sacred urn was in. It looks like there's some pink paint on it, too. And it's definitely the same color as the stuff on the urn. I think I know how the paint got on it. Alright, let's investigate again, shall we? Let's go, Nick. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Yo, Miss Andrews, do you know anything about the sacred urn?
Do I know anything? I'm in charge of the entire treasure exhibit.
The urn that was submitted before the court today. It's obviously not the same urn as before.
Well, that's, true. Maybe it isn't the same. It could be a fake.
A fake?
You're the one who said it wasn't the same, so that's the most obvious explanation. Do you have any evidence that the urn submitted was a genuine article?
Yes, because, we got it vetted. Sorry to break it to you, but the urn is the genuine article. Pearls went back to Curane Village and had it examined.
Is that right?
That's nice, but I don't see how... What she discovered was that the urn had been broken. Again.
Did you say again?
Yes, it was broken once a year ago, and now it looks like the same thing has happened. And quite recently, too.
Recently? Are you saying that this urn was broken recently?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Why do you think it was broken recently? How do you know?
Well... because of this? Where is it?
Here we go.
This poster. It was made recently, right?
Poster? Ah, the poster for the exhibit.
At the time when this photo was taken, the urn said I am on it. But now, for some mysterious reason, it says Ami, like it's supposed to. When the urn was fixed, the letters were transposed.
Ah! That's one Psyche locked. I am? What does that even mean? I don't know anything about that. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken.
That was a mistake. Now tell the truth.
Wait.
Or?
Even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it.
Huh?
Yes, that's it. It must have been one of the people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what happened.
Looks like she's not going to give up that last Psyche lock so easily.
Do you have any proof the urn was broken here at Lordly Taylor?
The paint splotches! Wait, I need the paint splotches as a thing? I don't think I have enough evidence yet. Damn it! I need the paint splotches as, like, an actual thing.
That's lame.
Looks to me like it's been dry for several days. Pretty sure this is it.
Look, it matches!
Wait, it's all turning out exactly as I thought it would. One step closer to solving the mystery.
Take that!
Alright. Let's just zoom through this.
Can't believe I had to examine this splotch again.
That's so bullshit.
Let's see here.
Yeah, obviously, the urn itself is real. Because we got it vetted at Curane Village.
Again?
Yes, quite recently. How do I know? Because of this. Where is it? Here we go. Because of this poster. Alright. Did you not see the very obvious magenta pink paint splotch? Well, Miss Andrews?
What is this supposed to mean?
There is pink paint all over this urn. And there is pink paint all over the floor and walls of this basement warehouse. In other words, this urn was broken here. You can't weasel out of this one, Miss Andrews.
But...
Uh-oh. She's trying to make her escape.
But you can get pink paint anywhere.
Well, there's none in my office, that's for sure.
Well, there is in my room.
Liar. You're more of a French Grey type person.
Anyway, the paint on the urn and the paint on the floor. There's no proof that it's the same paint.
You dumbass. Come on, this is getting ridiculous. The proof is this shitty box. This box. The urn was stored in this, right?
Yes, that's right.
Well, there's pink paint on this box as well, you dumbass. I think you already know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yes, more or less.
The paint on the floor has an odd shape imprinted in it, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you put this box into the impression in the paint, you can see it fits perfectly. Which means this box was dropped right over there. And that is when the urn was broken.
Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright. That's silly. Alright, let's talk about this sacred urn now. I'm so sorry. I was the one who broke the urn.
Boy, does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher.
I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did. Well, that's not so hard to understand, is it, Pearly? No, not at all. I know just how she feels. It happened about 2 weeks ago. Just after the poster photo was taken, on the same day the urn arrived here.
Oh, that's a nice detail. They used the Reminiscence theme from 2-4.
I thought I'd put it away down here for safekeeping. I was carrying it in the box.
Oh no! When I tripped on the paint can and lost my balance.
The box I was carrying crashed to the ground.
Great.
I heard a terrible noise and thought my heart was going to stop. Fearing the worst, I opened the lid of the box, and that's when it happened. The broken pieces of the urn fell out of the box and landed right in the paint. I was in shock and let out a huge scream.
Aw. Poor Miss Andrews.
I could totally see how that could have happened.
Yeah, as clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands.
Well, I knew it was the most important treasure in all of Curain Village, so I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shards were pretty big. And that's when the I am got changed to Ami? I didn't know how it was originally written, but any sane person fixing it would have assumed it said Ami.
Any sane person? Really? No, you just made Pearls feel bad! Oh, Pearls. She doesn't know how to spell. She said she wasn't very good at spelling.
Anyway, I put the urn into the storeroom and no one had seen it since then.
Good to know.
But there's something I don't get.
Wait, let me check this again.
Yeah, that's... okay. Very much, okay. When we first came here, I didn't see any paint stains. Well, that's because it was so ugly and embarrassing. I used the golden statue to cover it.
The Ami Faye statue.
Ha!
Speaking of that statue, the first time that we came down here, it was on the night that the sacred urn was stolen.
But Mr. Nick, there were no paint marks on the walls or floor of the warehouse when we were here. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. And I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the stains. That's why I put it where you saw it first. Where you first saw it. That's interesting. Oh, hey!
Oh, hello. I have just returned to my apartment abode.
Yes! Okay, so after this part is going to be the second trial, and I want you to play the prosecutor. He is very suave, and he loves coffee. I see. Now it makes perfect sense.
Plus, I hate coffee.
But
ice cream, weirdly enough.
But there's still one thing I find strange. What is it, Pearl? The day after the urn was stolen, we came here again. And at that time, the statue had been moved and the paint was clearly visible.
She's right about that.
I have a question. Why is Colonel Mustang's lover here?
This is Adrian Andrews. She was a main character in the last case of the last game.
She's giving me Full Metal Alchemist vibes.
She very much is. She used to wear a blue jumper, the same color.
That
same
does
shape.
not help.
Yeah, no. And her hair was like down.
But she's really cute. I love her.
Well, Miss Andrews?
Huh? What? I don't know anything about that. I placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again? Well, then who was it? Who would have done it and why?
I wonder. On the day before the theft, the statue was definitely closer to the door. Then, the next day, it was moved. But why?
Alright.
Organizational purposes.
Yes. It looks like there's some connection between the sacred urn and the murder case.
Why? Why do you think so, Nick?
Because that night, the real thief, Ron Delight, was at KB Security, aka Poor Little Meow Meow. So then why did another Mask to Mask show up here? Let me show you this, picture real quick. Notice how there's no date on it. It's just the time.
Very helpful security camera.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if that'll be a plot point later. A lot of different things are pointing to one undeniable fact.
One undeniable fact?
There were two Mask to Masks! The murder trial is starting tomorrow, but... Look at this bitch. I love him. It looks like that thief is going to be making another appearance.
He's giving me Nabbit mixed with Puss in Boots.
I thought he was more, fucking Detective Conan.
I have no idea who that is, but agreed.
Or, no, wait. I mean, Tuxedo Mask, but JoJo. Actually.
Not fair.
Alright!
Hey, Nick!
What is it this time?
You won't believe how many people are here for the trial.
Well, it is a murder case.
What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door.
Next door?
Why didn't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atme's trial today.
Detective
He had a
Atme.
lightning hair too!
And he
What's with
sounds
the
like
lightning
this
hair?
because he's got a Pinocchio nose. Yeah. He looks like a rockhopper penguin.
So be determined.
He looks like a rockhopper penguin to me. They say they're going to try him as Mask to Mask. Already? That was fast. I wonder if that'll play into our trial. Boy, I'd love to see Mask to Mask's trial. I know. By the way, where's Pearls?
Oh, she went back
Weird.
home.
Mask the mask.
No, it's Mask to Mask. She
Mask
said
the mask.
she said she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me! I love Ron Delight so much, he's so silly. Oh, Mr. Delight, good morning. No one likes me. No one would notice me, even if I killed someone. Damn, dude! Calm down, chill.
Don't say that!
That is not something you should be saying in the defendant lobby. Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No. I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that can't be right. The thief can't really be poor. I loved how the text sort of fades
Why
off.
are they healing?
Basically, he's this supposed phantom thief, Persona reference.
Is this a guy?
He's just a guy. He used to be a security guard who was trying to catch the guy he's dressed up as now, and someone has been sending him, after his first theft, detailed plans of how to steal other stuff and blackmailing him to give it back, but then he gets money after, so he keeps it up to keep up his wife's spending habits, which is a lot. Okay, now let's see. According to Mr. Delight,
Well, at least he loves his wife.
Yep, he did it for her. From his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists.
Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murderer, Nick?
Okay, by the way, when they showed off who the murderer was, the silhouette was very obvious. Can you guess who it is? It was the only other new character in this case, Luke Atme, the detective. who was, Lightning Guy. Do you really think there's a connection between them? It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock.
Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always.
I'm afraid that's not an option.
Some would say he was petrified, knowing that there was no one there by his side.
I need a hero. A hero. Look at Godot, he's the best.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Rondelite.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Hi.
Is this X-Men now? What?
There's an explanation for this, I promise. We won't get it until the 5th trial of this game. We won't get it until the 5th case of this game, but there is a reason he's wearing this mask and has white hair. Anyway, suave voice.
Oh, I have to meet this guy?
Yeah, I told you.
Okay, fuck. Goddamn, you ready for... No, damn it. Preparations in last week of the week. I'm out of it.
Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot.
Oh, he's got the judge in the palm of his hand. Yet again.
Rondelite is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all.
I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot.
Oh yeah, and he spouts a bunch of bullshit that nobody knows what he's talking about.
Sounds just like me. Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. Thanks for my coffee, dear. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right?
Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case, since the prosecution very obviously isn't.
Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change.
The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated at 1 a.m. of the previous day.
I was gonna say something stupid. I was gonna say he looks dead, but...
He's the victim.
And that's when your lost little kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant.
Please call me kitten again, I'm begging you. By the way, Rondelite is so bi for him, it's ridiculous.
Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Slipping my coffee.
By the way, his theme is the sexiest in all of the original trilogy.
That's right, you did tell me he's a coffee addict, that's right.
Yeah!
I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial.
I have no clue why 17 is the number they chose.
But the first one is always the best.
Mr. Godot, your witness!
Hold on. Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Rondelite, has to say for himself.
He is quite a delight. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? Maybe a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but...
I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. Oh yeah, by the way, the tutorial case for this game, you play as Mia Fey, and Phoenix Wright was the defendant.
Big nice.
We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify.
You've got guts, Fisty.
Trite.
Trite, my bad. I added it. I thought words.
Yeah. Alright then, Mr. Rondelite, please take the stand. Let's go. We get to cross-examine this wet-ass kitten.
What?
I was trying to say wet kitten of a man, but I don't know. I got my stuff mixed up. Also,
Wet-ass kitten, alright then.
Also, he wants to be convicted because he's delusional, I guess. Go ahead.
Fair enough. Maybe to stay away from the wife and the spending habits.
Well, no, he does it because of her.
Oh, that's right. You did it, didn't you?
Yes. What? No, 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 that's not true! For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever! Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making! And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin.
Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why didn't you go to the KB security?
Well, that's kind of hard to say. Why, I wish I could go home. You can't, you're the defendant! Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. My visit to KB security. Wahoo! I don't know why I went Mario there. That evening, around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. Oh yeah, and by the way, Miss Delight does not know that he was fired, so... 1 AM, the exact time the murder took place.
Ah, yes, another coffee. The weak get washed away, the ties of fate, the strong drink it up.
I'm going to make a tally of how many sips of coffee he takes. Just to see if it is exactly 17.
It's bitter today, too, just like my destiny.
You'd never
That's
know
not a
that
good
from the way
destiny.
he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright! Your cross-examination, please! Alright, let's see here. Alright. Oh, the press order for this one is a little weird. There wasn't much to his testimony there, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this. We better be careful. If we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah. Alright.
Oh,
So...
my mom's calling me, one second.
Alright. You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. A security chief? You? And yet, a year ago you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge. Perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject? Why were you fired? Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, the world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then I take it back. Defendant, please answer the question. I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Okay, that's... okay! Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies, and since I was a security team chief, You stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I had never asked that. Yes, Bido was right. I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I had to quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You'd do well to remember that. He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes, I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worst. Crash and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. What does that mean? Phoenix, what does that mean? He fired me for selling company secrets, but Desi doesn't know about that. Okay. So, the blackmail letter. It ordered you there. It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this, steal that. Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do? Press harder, Avi. So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, eh? A perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay the money anyway. Uh-huh. Oh, is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Wait, who is this he? Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. A muddy mudskipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. What sort of reference is that? Sure. It wasn't gonna cause you trouble, huh? Just what were you being, quote, blackmailed about anyway? The blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity revealed, correct? I'm sure it was referring to the whole mask-to-mask thing.
Objection!
Tisk tisk. I'm afraid that reason isn't going to hold up anymore. What do you mean? The victim had no proof the defendant was mask-to-mask. But you were the one who stole company secrets only 1 year earlier. But that was all over with once I was fired! But it is true that the fact that I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now, a whole year later. Is that really true? What is it, Nick? The fact that Ron was stealing company data. I wonder if he would have had a problem that ever became public knowledge. Yeah, definitely. Mr. Delight, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do by bullying your own client? Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow. You're spouting nonsense, Godot! That's exactly right. Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo. Little lawyer amigo. Yes, now come on, provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Why would Mr. Delight want to keep his data stealing secret from going public? Well, his wife hates liars, so... Hates criminals and cowards more than anything. Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared. Very scared. Of having a certain person find out your secret. A certain person? Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. Well, but I... Listen to me! My Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Godot. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Oh. No! Everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that, or he'll be sorry. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. Aw, what happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. It's so hard to tell if there's... Okay. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Yep. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. They could have made it a little more difficult. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. But I came to. Mr. Bullet was lying there, dead. Wearing what? I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Master Mask struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Amy turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Ha! No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked! What were you wearing? We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Wright? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. Knock a dough number 107. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Alright. What were you wearing? Could you please clarify what you are referring to? Why, my mask to mask costume, of course. Wait just a moment. Mask to mask? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I was in costume. Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as mask to mask. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. He's so cool. Look at him fiddling with one of his little tassels. So cute. What? Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait, that's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind? My 6th cup of coffee is staring at me coldly. Are you sure it's your 6th cup? Because I've only counted 5. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. So you're wearing your mask-to-mask costume. If I hadn't been okay, so what? Why were you dressed up as mask-to-mask? Why, because I'm mask-to-mask, of course. What are you talking about? Mask-to-mask's trial is being held next door. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the mask-to-mask issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I'd expected. Took a lot longer? What is he talking about? What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. Tape got caught on the safe door, you see. Oh, right, because he shoved it. Okay. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body. What was that? Back up a second. Yes? You were hiding the body. You were the one that hid the body in the safe. Well, yeah. Inconceivable! You are not what's-his-name from, what is it called? You are not what's-his-name from, Princess Bride. Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What a weird non sequitur? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. I'm sure these make at least as much sense Japanese. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you mean that Mr. Delight hid the body because he's the murderer? So you're not as stupid as you look. His metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you? Yes. Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony. Yes, sir. Uh-oh, looks like the storm front is moving in over the Fairweather Judge. It didn't hit the body in the safe. It took about 5-10 minutes? Okay, wait. We heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday, didn't we? There's not much in this testimony either. I bet you he's still hiding something. I wouldn't be surprised. We just have to draw it out of him. I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I am back, and I'm
Hello.
back. My mom was just helping me out pay rent.
Oh, nice. You missed a really bad metaphor by Godot. And also,
Well,
apparently, Ron was wearing his mask-to-mask costume when he went to go see the blackmailer.
That's very funny. What? Why? 1 second.
Okay. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in a drawer. Oh, that's not exactly what I
Makes me
meant.
strange for some reason.
Okay. When I saw that corpse, I kind of lost it. Alright. Here we go. Hopefully it's better now. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it. Huh. You have better simple reason.
1 second. 1 second.
It's because you killed him. That's why I spent 10 minutes hiding the body. That certainly makes more sense. Hold on. 10 minutes? What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it? Under those circumstances? What circumstances?
Now I can see it.
Oh! Hey,
Let's go.
Nick! If you think his behavior was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were? That's it! I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence. Yes, yes. 1, 2, 3. And guess what we have to present? This big-ass button. With no fingerprints
Yo,
on
I
it.
love buttons. Can I press it?
No, because it's an alarm button. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this
Now I want to
record?
press even more.
You and Maya will get along swimmingly. And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects to the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. He would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded.
That's 2 hours and 58 minutes before the witching hour.
After all, a security guard would have been heading his way.
Objection! Ha! Let's remember who we were dealing with here. He probably had no idea there was security personnel in the building.
You dumbass. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them.
But as it turns out, the guard never came.
Because it was Larry. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mr. Delight could have known! God damn!
Boy, we were supposed to save people, not burn them.
Honestly, what the hell, Phoenix? What the hell, Phoenix? Don't rag on Larry that much.
Again, who remember who we're dealing with here? It's sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off.
You dumbass, it's so loud anyone would have. The buzzer is extremely loud. There is no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? This is his 7th cup
I need
of
another
coffee.
Fine, let's hear your theory.
Recall the
My
defendant's...
personal headcanon, all full of lemonade.
No, it's coffee. One time he threw it onto Phoenix and it dripped down his face comedically. Recall...
Oh, great, I love it.
Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious? So he fainted? That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body.
So, what you're trying to say...
Mr. Delight was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right. Whoever it was, they knocked out Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer. This theme is a banger.
Your Honor, you can sleepwalk.
Order in the court! Mr. Wright, this is... Korewa...
This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight is the one who killed Kane Bullard.
Then who pressed the buzzer?
It was the victim, of course.
Slam.
He pressed the buzzer when he was defeated and attacked him.
The defendant attacked him.
No, the defendant attacked him, my bad. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button.
You dumbass. There were no fingerprints on the buzzer. So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer? I'm not ready yet. The defense admits there is no evidence to the contrary. It is possible that the victim himself sounded the buzzer.
Possible. More like definite, Mr. Trite.
Which means only 2 people were there at the crime scene after all.
The victim, Kane Bullard, and his killer, Mr. Delight.
Come on, Nick. If you can't prove that the real killer was there, this trial is as good as finished.
Oh, I can prove it alright. I guess I need to show some sort of evidence after all. That was too early. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. I like that they don't make you go back and like... I like that they don't make you go back and like re-say it. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, fine, I'll just present evidence. There were no fingerprints on the buzzer! I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. The emergency buzzer. Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. 8.
Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth.
The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue. Now I'm the one who's clueless. Now I'm the one who's clueless. Okay, mean girl. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind.
What?
I love that. I love that hurt sprite. It's so silly. Why would he? A guard could come in at any moment.
He touched the button. I know he did.
The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Master Mask, and Master Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints?
So true, bestie.
Order! Order! Order!
It would seem. Glug, 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 glug. I've been forced to eat crow.
I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger?
It's bad almond flavored, I can tell you that.
What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden?
It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks.
They're on to you, Nick! Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. The really loud buzzer that hurts my ears. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond? Well, Larry wasn't there. Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then.
Oh, you've got some guts. I like that in opponents.
Why did the killer sound the emergency buzzer? To call the security guard, obviously. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes. Although as it turned out he never showed up because he was getting punched in the face by his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. Because he was getting his claw cleaned at the time. I was just saying.
Oh, what a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and told the guard to turn himself in?
No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron DeLight, who was out cold. And the 3rd person, the real killer, who was very obviously Luke Atme, based on that silhouette. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron DeLight. And if any security guards came running in at the time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron DeLight for the murder. I love his, like, damaged sprite where the mask, like, steams. It's very silly.
He starts smoking.
Yeah.
Love that.
Order! Order! Order!
It would seem. Look. I've been made to eat my words once again.
Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're going to drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard. Alright, well, who is it? Who framed him? It was me, Luke Atme. I'm everywhere. I'm Luke Atme. Take that. Why would Gumshoe want to? Did Luke Atme? He's the only one who could have done it.
He didn't want a gun shoe anymore. He just wanted to be a shoe.
You mean Mask to Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Mask to Mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard. Order! Order!
I'm lost. What?
Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Okay, so basically during the first half of this, it was not a murder trial, but like a larceny trial, because we thought that Ron DeLight had stolen an important vase that belonged to Maya's family. So it turned out that apparently it was quote-unquote Luke Atme who actually stole the vase, and it was, but you remember this security camera photo, how there's no date on it? They thought that it was around the time of the murder on the same day, but it was actually taken earlier, but we don't know that yet. But it's very obvious based on the fact that there's no date. So, also,
Call me stupid.
Yeah?
What does larceny mean?
Oh, it means theft.
Oh, okay.
Explain yourself! Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. Thought he was gonna say theft. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. Luke Atme! When Luke Atme confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom.
Why was he spazzing?
Because he was laughing.
Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as well as Mask the Mask.
Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny through objective all along. To be found guilty. Mask the Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Mask to Mask was Luke Atme's airtight, watertight, and unassailable a guilty verdict as an alibi?
It's actually Mask Star Mask.
Mask Star Damask, yes. And typically in Japanese, the star means gay, so, you know, make of that what you will.
Oh,
Make of that what you will! Like BL.
You know, it's almost time.
For what?
For Luke Atme's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. Words. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course. That's assuming that you have proof that the evidence was the one who committed the murder. Detective. Why did I say evidence?
I don't know! Mr. Luke Atmey's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this?
I bet only good when you're like... Fuck,
Your life's the ante.
down.
Mr. Wright, I believe in you! Look at his costume, it's so cute. Mr. Delight.
I believe in you! The power of friendship in it!
So please, I'm begging you! He's so cute. He's such a cutie pie.
The power of anime.
Yeah, thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. Hi, Mia.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, what was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice. It sounds like...
Does Claude speak to him? What?
Mia! No, it's his dead mentor who, his assistant channels occasionally because she needs to bail him out of situations. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess.
Huh? So that's your answer, huh?
Yes. Very well, I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmey to the stand. Yes, Your Honor.
Alright, dibs on the monkey bars.
Oh, hi, Mr. Payne. Well, Sir Detective Atmey, I forgot he was the fucking prosecutor for Atmey's trial. Huh. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atmey, you were the one who... Do you want to be this judge for a sec?
What?
He's Canadian!
Before.
He's Canadian!
Hey, that's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial.
It's not Canadian, that's for sure. That's definitely not Canadian. Thank you, Phoenix! Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please! Well, well, sir lawyer. Welcome to my courtroom.
Who's this Jose?
My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atmey. Accusation? You accuse Master Mask. That man is not Master Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer.
What?
Look at his face. Look at his nose dripping sweat. I can't. All right.
You're right, he is built like Pinocchio.
Yeah. Alright. Fort 4-2 trial. Let's go. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then she's still alive. Inside your heart. Nicky boy!
What?
Look at her. Oh, Miss Delight.
I love her hair.
It's so good, yeah. She's also a motorcyclist who likes to race. It's really fun. Is it true that Detective is the real killer? To be honest...
Oh, she has the same name as my aunt. Let's go.
Desiree, yeah. We don't have any definitive proof, but he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atmey want to kill Luke Kane Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof, and it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. Alright. The alibi. Now then, court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atmey, please take the stand. Let's get this over with. Well, well, how do you do, sir lawyer? I would never have thought to see you acting so recklessly. Yeah, since he's a detective, he's got, like, a magnifying glass that's also, one of those monocles. It's very silly.
Put your eyeball away.
I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when I would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Master Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Look At Me has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I go. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Mask. Indeed. It's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are in fact Master Mask.
That's not diamond, that looks more like ruby.
Yeah. Of course. I don't know, maybe it's dyed? Very well then, Look At Me. Let us begin with a simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kate Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time?
Round diamond.
One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he one without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. What does that mean? Thanks. Alright, Godot.
Alright, Mr. Abney. The night of the murder, speak.
Sip.
Ah, glug, 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 glug. We're all ears.
As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. Oh yeah, fun fact, at the very end of this, I'm going to have to press exactly one statement, or else I will fail completely. It's very bullshit. I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. Okay, wait, so, you dumbass. It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Master Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. No, you stay right here, you dumbass.
I literally looked up oval diamonds, and oval diamonds have I guess more detailing on them, but I also looked into a ruby oval, like an oval ruby.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than it looks a lot more like a oval ruby.
Unfortunately, Mr.
I'm
Abney.
sorry, I was just looking into it.
No, that's fair. We still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. Hello, Franziska von Karma? Okay? I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. Oh, the prosecutor last game used the word fool a lot. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi.
Cross-examination.
Let's go. Alright. What do you mean by this? I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atney was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. Okay. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct? We have like 3 things that look exactly like that.
Stay on his face.
I think he just squishes it with his eyebrow. cheek. Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
Objection! He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up.
Glug.
We all have days like that.
Indeed, it turned out that there was no...
How much coffee is it so far?
Like... over 10? Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing. A sad blue melody. It looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, then there's gotta be something phony in this photo. Alright. I pressed this. Pressed this. Let me just go through this again. Believe Adrian Andrews hired you. Yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. There's something weird about that.
Objection!
Almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose. Interesting. Okay, wait. Let me just press everything here. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was... Oh, sorry, that's you. I took it, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The camera was set up by Lord Lee Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lord Lee Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately, for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered.
I see. Looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious. So this alibi is false? It has to be, or it couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the masked mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Alright. Believe Adrian Andrews hired you. It is kind of odd, isn't it? Turn out to be my witness. Come to think about it, the basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it, it's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? Are you implying that this picture is a fake?
Is it snowing, or is that just a white spot of ink?
Oh, that's the absolute... That's the white paint. That's the pink paint here. You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before that took place, and there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? I find this quite funny. Take that! The funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain. Ah, blood! Now this case is getting interesting. Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint, aka Danganronpa blood. Oh, just paint.
Ah, true.
And peach-colored at that. From blood to peaches, the judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. Or should I say his wild tangerines. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is, when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Wright, what is it? What is this supposed to be instead of paint? It's supposed to be the statue of Ami Faye. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there.
Objection!
But when I went there was the day after the theft. The statue of the old man was sitting in the corner.
Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally? Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance.
In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue has been moved that night?
Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? It had to have been Luke Atme, right? The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atme. Since I'm accusing him anyway. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. That sprite is really weirdly shaded. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Luke Atme, you pretended to be Mask to Mask, to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. Who uses film anymore for that reference? I'm kidding. That is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw?
Interesting theory. Please enlighten us.
Ooh,
Just
3.
where in this picture does the lie exist?
Because there's no date. Naturally, the lie is in this photo is the timestamp. What do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KV Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time.
He looks like a penguin. It's amazing.
But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was the statue placed beside the warehouse door? Well...
Oh, I'm so sorry. The statue was taken down from the warehouse on the day of the crime. And it was placed there in order to cover up the paint.
Exactly. Luke Atme had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place.
What the?
Of course,
in court, sir.
Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Okay, now you're going off on wild metaphors. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in his photo. Ah! Okay, that sprite's adorable. It's like, ah! Order, order! Mr. Atme, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Also, just so you know, Ron DeLight was fired from the security company because he stole data secrets and sold them. Order! Order! Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Coffee.
Glug, glug, glug.
Godot, I warned you about making me wait! Now put that coffee down!
My 11th cup. That is not it's not your 11th cup.
Let me check.
I promise to drink no more than 17 during a trial.
It's his 12th cup. I promise. Yeah.
Which means I'm still good to the last drop.
However, the defense has a very good point.
A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road to infinite options.
I think he got his points mixed up with his other points.
So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time? And that the statue was moved in order to make it match? That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied.
Which is?
Hold on. That is only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams.
That's very true. No way. Don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask. That's you. Hey, Mr. Damask.
Oh, Mr. Damask.
Yes. Yes?
If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask, there should be no problem of you telling us your strategy. But let's hear it.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. Okay, let's do this. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box and zvari! It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. Let me check the calling card again. Ah yes, the speckled urn. It wasn't speckled before. You dumbass. That's pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you're sure that there are no mistakes this time? Zvari. Very well then.
What's that mean?
I have no clue. It's like an exclamation like, Eureka! Or, the game is afoot! Or something along those lines. He tried his best to... Yeah, he's trying to make it a thing. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yay! Cross-examine time! You dumbass. Mr. Atme, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course.
Is there a problem with that calling card?
Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there is no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor.
I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Wright.
The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse. The urn was broken due to human error, or should I say, an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. Poor Andrews.
This would be a very different story if those cups of coffees were actually vodka.
Yeah. Oh, do I have a prosecutor for you?
You can't be serious.
And yet, this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means, Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. I love that his mask sort of like depresses in the front when he does that, almost like he's furrowing his brow. It's adorable. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Alright. There's just one more cross-examination. Well, two. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Alright, that did it. He's broken.
Understanding. Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh?
Alright, this is what, number 14? 15?
I don't know if he's actually drank that last one. That's you.
It's so bad. So sad. No one has any conviction these days.
Conviction, you say?
Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask, and now we're calling him a murderer? Lug. You don't think we're being a tad fickle?
That's a good point. No way, don't fall for that too, Your Honor.
You say that Luke Atney was the one who killed Kane Bullard? Then let me ask you this, why would he do that?
An excellent point. The shading is like weirdly softer on the one where he is polishing his magnifying glass, and the one where he's like, nose up. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might you my merry murderous motive manifest? Nick, he's getting a second wind! If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron Delight as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder.
The only one was
Ron Delight.
Isn't that right, Detective?
Indeed,
The only one, luck.
Indeed, according to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives are. I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Alright. I, Luke Atney, did not kill Kane Bullard. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy. He's got an interesting tie. So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant? This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. Oh, sorry.
A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
What? Alright, good to know. Very well, Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination. I have two options to present something here, but I'm just going to do one. You sure about that? Let me check this newspaper clipping again. Objection! You dumbass. Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is this jewel's color. Color? Not much for discussing color myself. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not much for discussing color myself.
According to the clipping, the color...
That's why he's got white hair.
And a red mask. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. Wait, I didn't actually read this. 1 second. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Red? Which means, the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Emanon that Master Mask stole at all.
Objection!
And your point is, Mr. Wright? So you're trying to say that the blackmail letter was intended for somebody else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Wright?
That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick?
Yes.
No, like,
This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing.
It was actually me!
Look at me! Naturally, it was you, Detective Acme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? Look at your fucking finger. You have been personally involved in every single mask-to-mask case, and in the last case you recovered what was stolen, and received a jewel as your reward.
A jewel?
Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. That is the diamond referred to in the letter, which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Ah! Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright.
It seems you've got too far with that childish pranks, Mr. Wright.
Uh-oh, I don't like the way you said that.
Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke at me? Are you for real?
Yes, I am.
Nick, come on, stand up to him!
Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world.
Yes, it certainly does.
Sippy, sippy.
Glug, glug, glug. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atney's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep secret. So just what was that identity?
Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret?
This is what it all comes down to, Nick.
The identity that Luke Atme wanted so desperately to keep secret was his identity as a blackmailer. Luke Atme was a blackmailer.
Objection! Hey now.
You're an all-star.
Isn't that a little isn't that a little different from what you've been saying?
It's you.
You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atney. Are you saying that Atney was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
You have to admit that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atney. But Rhonda Light was also being blackmailed by a certain someone.
I love the mask-to-mask theme, it's so good.
So, did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. I wonder who could have made them. Well... Detailed plans. Obviously. Atme. In which case, that would mean that Rhonda Light was actually mask-to-mask. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme. The pun name is Look At Me. Shh! Silence!
Oh my gosh, how did I not...
Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is?
Alright, Ice King.
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with a tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... The fact that that's canon is so good. Basically, he's saying...
Wait, what canon? What?
Okay, so apparently Phoenix was, like, very bad in school with, like, jumping to conclusions and stuff, so, you know, you say that I, Luke Atme, was blackmailing Rhonda Light, in which case I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Well, yes. Rhonda Light started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise.
In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. Just like my coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
During the first crime, how did Luke Atney know that Ron the Light was masked?
That's very obviously Ron in the security guard office costume. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean?
True.
This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron DeLight in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a trash can. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atney. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron DeLight.
What the? Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask? Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer.
What a fraud. Trying to pass himself off as an ace detective.
Why, you... How dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that?
He literally just admitted to it, because you told me, Foxboy. I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity.
Why, you? How dare you even dare imply someone so sound as I could ever fall to such low depths when I tried doing something yourself with those big amounts of you? I see real fools, I say. None of you can compare to my genius, or I'll just jealous so good. So go underneath the blackmail murder threats, I'll get away with all of it.
It's enough to make one laugh.
He's really crazy.
Yeah.
He's not crazy. What's with this Joker?
He is the Joker. It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer.
That was quite a performance by Mr. Atney.
And I tried my best to keep up with the dialogue. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atney.
Tisk, tisk. Gulp, gulp, gulp. The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim.
What do you mean? I'm already prepared to rule my ruling!
Allow me to say one thing. How will be the one to judge?
You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Wright.
What do you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atney was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lord Taylor the night of the murder.
That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bolt.
But... Glug. There's still one thing you haven't yet to prove.
What's that?
Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene.
Well, damn.
Therefore, if you can't prove this pitiful excuse for a man who was at a KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
No way! I mean, we literally can't. Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright, this is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atney was at Bullard's office on that night. But can you really prove that?
That's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer.
That night, Luke Atney was at KB Security, and the defense... I can't prove it. Just as I thought. But if we hear more of Detective Atney's testimony...
Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite.
What do you mean?
I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean.
What?
Have you forgotten Luke Atney is here after we interrupted his own trial? And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it is time for his witness to return to his own trial. and faces guilty verdict as Mask the Mask.
No! Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all.
What is that fucking anime bullshit?
I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Oh, shut up, you.
Order in the court. That's enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe it. At this rate, Ron is...
Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can still look for evidence and...
By then, it'll be too late.
Huh? Why?
Tisk, tisk. Love. Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law.
Double jeopardy? Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts, and it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else.
Mr. Abney will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Mask the Mask with me.
He will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is considered. No way! The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atmey's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
Oh, great. Someone object, please. Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win, even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent. The real killer, Luke Atmey, will go free.
You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there is no more testimony, I am afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections?
Go.
Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atmey.
Oh, thank you, Mia. I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you...
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets.
Thank you, Mia, you're the best!
That voice. No way.
Hi, Mia.
Voice of reason.
Yeah, my conscience.
Attractive.
Yeah, my conscience. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia!
Can I date you? Can I date the conscience?
Well, she's possessing her younger sister, so no.
Oh no!
Well, by this point she's 19, but still! This is the true power of the Curane channeling technique. It's even worse when it's even worse than when Pearl's channels her. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks.
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well. Now we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter? Mr. Godot?
Not even gonna drink the coffee. Nothing.
Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late.
Me knowing the relationship?
If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at...
Let's hear it.
Huh?
It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination.
Mr. Godot, what are you...
Very well then. Mr. Luke, at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. And I need to press one specific statement or else I automatically fail. Which is bullshit! Indeed, it is true that I was not at Dorothy Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Huh. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. Did you forget that you're also wearing gloves, you dumbass? And the blackmail letter, the victim might be just mistook the color of the jewel. Zvari! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy.
I keep dropping the phone on my face and it hurts my face.
Woof. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything. But of course. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me, and I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer.
Are you gonna make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer?
I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec, just one chance?
It seems that the party's about to begin.
Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it.
My last count. Count number 17. The last count. It seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance. At least they warn you. Very well then, Mr. Wright, begin your final cross-examination. There's 11 statements here. I need to press number 9.
You better lose yourself. You only get one shot, your chance to make it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mr. Atmey, about this last remark.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you, Tribes? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement.
I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
What?
Mr. Atmey, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atmey? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. Is that correct? Indeed. That's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. How could you have known that? Unless you were there. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? I know, right?
For some reason I'm starting to get really thirsty.
What exactly? But he only drank 17! When exactly did we learn that fact that Miss Ron Delight was dressed up as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime? That was,
It was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare.
Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Abney? There is no way that you should have known about that. You were in the next courtroom being tried as Mask to Mask. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information?
Well...
Objection!
God damn it, Bill.
Objection! Come on! This detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
No! And it's those chances that I wanted to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Mask to Mask outfit. There's one and only one way for Detective Abney to have found that out. Only one...
Only one way, you say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. It was very obviously Luke Abney based on the silhouette. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker. There's no way to tell whether or not he's the real killer or was it Luke Abney.
Ah, you dumbass. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight.
Impossible.
Wah! Sorry! Detective Abney, you saw Mask to Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. What is that background noise? Oh, he's charging up!
He's crying. He's crying. Oh, never mind.
Take a good look, everyone! Unable to find a rifle worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown! That's the same line you gave yesterday. That's the same line you gave yesterday.
But, I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. He is very much the Joker. And his suit does not fit. Look at the wrinkles around his ankles. The Joker, baby. What if the Joker could beatbox? What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight. Then he claimed to be guilty as Mask to Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi.
At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me?
I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. For the third time. Besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict.
I know, you never committed any murder.
That's right. I'm so glad you understand that. But, I really am Mask to Mask!
Huh?
So, thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it.
I've been careless.
Careless? What do you think, Mia?
But if you mention that now, doesn't that make... what?
I don't know. As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Mask to Mask is really innocent. It would seem so. For now. For now.
Now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty! Woo!
Let's go!
Let's go! We saved this pathetic man! Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Mask to Mask after all. He's so silly. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Curate Channeling School? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother, Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Aw. Mia. Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all of this has happened. Come on, just be happy already! Maya. You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master to boot! But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason. For her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became Master Mask. Yes,
but she's your wife. Are you talking?
It's all over now.
Your wife's a goldie?
A broken bowl can never be put back together. I mean, there's Kintsugi. That's not true, right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can? I kinda wish you would check with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there is always a way to put it back together. Oh, this is actually very sweet. Using this as a metaphor. The sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this.
See, just like a broken heart.
Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are! Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie! You're innocent! I'm so happy! Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask, either. Miss Delight, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. But... Didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. She's so real for this, honestly. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi. They're so sweet! Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick! Mystic Maya! Congratulations! Oh, no. Oh, yeah, by the way...
That's a literal child.
Yeah, this is Pearly. She's Maya's cousin, and she,
And she can also channel...
Yeah, she's...
Mia?
She is also a spirit medium, yes. In fact, she's very powerful. She also thinks Nick and Maya are dating. Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife, in front of Mystic Maya! No, you've got it all wrong. I'll never forgive you, never, ever! And she just slapped him silly. So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said...
my kind of human, I would have done the same thing.
She is 9 years old.
I said human, my kind of human, I didn't say woman.
Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Aww, they're so cute!
here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. Very cute, look at them.
Indeed.
And that, my friends, was the stolen turnabout. Next time, aka tomorrow, we'll be playing Recipe for Turnabout.
Oh, she's cute.
This is Maya in a little maid outfit, and she is fucking adorable. Alright. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for coming to hang out, Marco. I had a wonderful time. See you all next time. And have